Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map from a creator who we've reviewed 5 times in the past. Most recently, very recently, episode 1454, where they got a very solid 11 stars. Twice in the past, they've got 13 stars, and once they got absolutely nothing. Yeah, I know, it's very embarrassing that they should have been around for so long that they were in the very first episode of What's Map, where I didn't actually award stars. Episode 15, all the way back then. It's a very strong creator, lots of experience, lots of vision for a good map as well. And this is definitely that. It's a very strong vision, a very strong creation, and a very strong map, especially if you like building cities. I know it sounds dumb, but it's a city builder map. But before we do that, I've got a job for a clicky finger person. Is that you? That's right, being a clicky finger person is a really good way of supporting the channel, getting me seen by more people and helping me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Whitestone Cove by Scotland Tom. Yay, Scotland Tom's back. Don't see them for ages and they come back with 2 maps back to back, and both of them strong ones. This one I think slightly stronger, personally, just personal opinion. Start square looks very good to me, no issues with that whatsoever. Terrain heights, lots of flat buildable space and a few mountains, and it's just very pretty. And then we have resources are strong. We're using oil for snow, so you probably won't be doing any oil drilling, but everything else is strong. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map is a bit boring. Just saying. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. We have a list of requirements there. I've got an alternative to tree log fix, but everything else is good. Then we have the description, nicely written as always. Educated gentleman is Scotland Tom. And then we have a one-click collection, which includes the Whitestone Cove theme mix, which includes the Coos Bay theme. Yes, Coos Bay is back again. Laviante 1.4, the Seychelles theme, Miyagi's old snowfall map theme, and the Stray Cats territory as well. Along with, and this is my big bone of contention, the Clarity LUT. Now, I love the Clarity LUT. I think it's an old LUT, but it's a strong LUT. And I would never mark a map there. Well, I say never. I mean, I can imagine there would be maps that don't work with the Clarity. This map works really well with Clarity, and it's very clearly part of the theme mix because it automatically loads in with the theme mix. It ain't listed. You're only going to have Clarity if you happen to have Clarity already. So there's a minor titch off of the overall score for aesthetics, because this would be running with a vanilla LUT, strictly speaking, or normally in the show I'd run with the realistic 1.2. I'm running it with Clarity because it automatically loaded, and I thought I can't be bothered to change the LUT. But strictly speaking, this is a minor notch down on the score for aesthetics. Just because. Anyway, how y'all doing today, huh? How you all doing? Not too much to talk about with the map so far. We've just got this a couple of highways that cross the map. Do a little cross in the middle. You'll see a very lovely intersection in the middle as well. And because it's Scotland Tom, the standards are very high. So there's really not much for me to talk about or criticise. So what I'll say is, if you're a big fan of the channel, I have got something a bit special coming up on Sunday. Didn't take me long to make, but a lot of fun. If your initials are, ready for this, RM, as that's Romeo Mother. What's M? What's M in the phonetic language? My brain's gone. Anyway, yeah, we'll say mother. Right? if your initials are RM, I've got a tutorial coming out which was inspired by you. Yeah, you. That's right. I've not told you in advance, but intersection marking tools in operation today, and again, very nicely done because it's Scotland Tom. So there's that. We've also got no controller being used. Again, if you don't have intersection marking tool or no controller, it won't matter. It'll just mean that your intersection will be a little bit more vanilla, a little bit clunkier. But what we've got here is very nice work, exactly what you expect, and very clean work with the keys here as well. I mean, it's just very crisp, clean, and very nice. Just very nice. Now, very easy to fly past here without giving a little bit of a shout out to, look at the purple soil. It just in these little feature areas. That's striking and scores you up in that aesthetic thing, because it's striking feature areas, you know. Start squares there, by the way, obviously. So yes. Oh man. I mean, good standards, very good. I'm not going to harp on about this. What else have I? Oh, nice, perfect bridge. What have I got coming up for you? I have got some interesting specials and tutorials coming up in the next few weeks, and so keep an eye out for those. I haven't had time for them in recent months. I've been pushed to the wall. In fact, weirdly this week I've been pushed to the wall a little bit as well. I had some problems on Sunday, technical problems with the game, and I lost a few hours. And so I'm now, instead of recording 2 or 3 days ahead of schedule, I'm recording the day before. I'm actually speaking into my microphone yesterday. And I like to have a little bit more give, because something goes wrong and you're recording the show for the following day, the show doesn't go out. I like to be recording 2 or 3 days ahead, so that if something goes wrong, whatever, just what, anything can go wrong. If something goes wrong, then the show is already recorded. So I like to be 2 or 3 days. I am currently only recording the next day, which is going to be a little bit of a banger for me. Oh, I'm switching across to the rail now. Again, the rail is of the same high standards that we've just been looking at, but we always just follow the routes. So we're going to follow the routes. Look at all the interesting stuff about the map in the second half of the show, as always. But yes, so what I'd normally be doing now, I mean, for me it's Tuesday, so normally, hopefully by the end of Tuesday, I might be very nearly, well, maybe starting on Saturday's map, maybe. So by Wednesday, I then get a little bit of free time to start to do a little bit of work on any tutorials or specials or anything that I'm doing for the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership. So there are plenty of things I can be doing on like the Wednesday and the Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday this week, I'm definitely going to be recording Watt maps, but I mean, look, standards. Look at the reds. Look at the reds and the whites. Just loving it, and the cliff textures as well. So really strong. This looks like Blue Mantle. No. Okay. Right. Just what I thought I was going to be, and knock the score down on detailing somewhere, but no, there's no Blue Mantle. Scotland, Tom, stop it. So yes, it's. There's gonna be some specials coming. I am gonna I'm gonna work round the clock. I want to get these out. There's 1 or 2 that have been sitting around in the ideas box for too long. One actually since last year. It was going to be a special for last year, and it just never happened. This year it is. It's gonna come in the next, I don't know, hopefully 2 or 3 weeks. I imagine because we got the Viewers' Choice top 10. Again, I'm not talking about the map at all. I mean, you can see it. I mean, what do you want me to say about this? Okay. But yes, we've got the Viewers' Choice top 10 coming up at the end of next week. So I imagine the week after will be the week we start kicking in with a couple of tutorial specials. But we do have one already recorded. Actually, early access for the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership as well at the moment. So they can get a quick pre-glance at that. But yeah, it's not a long thing. It's not anything that's going to change your life, but I enjoyed it. I think you will too. Anyway, we'll take a brief intermission. We'll come right back after this to check out the shipping and, of course, the water flow. Be right back.
Are you confused by all those buttons running along the top and bottom of the screen? And what was that icon for again? Does anyone know? Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to the User Interface. Click the information button now.
And so back to Whitestone Cove by Scotland Tom, and the shipping routes, which are, as you would expect, fine. And they do one thing that's a little bit I don't know, say weird. Weird's not the word. But this one here goes into the cove, and it does a loop. It rounds back on itself. And in theory, your ships, depending on where you put the harbour, might go into the cove a little bit before coming out. I mean, it's possible. It just depends. I don't see it being a big problem. And in water flow, yes, this is Start Square. Yes, we've got a river. It's a working river, and we have water flowing through the Start Square. It's strong enough, wide enough, and just about deep enough that I don't think you'll have any problems with that if that's what you're looking for. Okay, right, so it's an interesting map. It's a striking map. Yes, obviously rivers and mountains and coastal, and we've got the snow as well. Plenty of buildable space. It's flat without being perfectly flat. Interesting shapes, which is going to make for a dynamic build. And of course that beautiful intersection, which we saw something very similar in one of the DLC maps from the map pack. So lots of little things to talk about there. Loving the shapes of that particular river as well. Just a bit windy and crisscrossy, and yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, let's do some bouncing in. First of all, got this little flooded bit here. I don't mind the bit of flooding, but that looks like Skylines flooding rather than natural flooding to me. It just gloops in and gloops out a little bit. Also, the width of the river doesn't quite balance with the twists in the river. There is actually an algorithm for that. I don't have it to hand, but that river is basically too fat for that kind of wiggle. Yeah, I'm being that picky today. It's Scotland Tom. When you've got a top creator, you can pick to a slightly higher level. Again, I don't mind. I'd be very happy to play this. Yeah, that river. I mean, it's an interesting shaped river. It's a good river. Yeah, for those of you that are looking for true realism, you might have a little grumble about that. Is that you? I don't know. Then we have the River Delta again. You know what? I'm pleased with that. It matches the river, so there is that going for it. Okay, I like that. It's got the right aesthetics, and also I like the aesthetics of the tree painting as well. We're just underneath the tree limit as well, so you don't need an anarchy, although you probably want to bulldoze the trees as you're going and building to keep under the limit. The mountains look striking. I wasn't sure at first if I liked the look of the mountains personally, but then that is always a personal detail, and I don't have any issues with them, and they definitely look rugged, and I can't find anything to fault them with, so they're good mountains. And then we have like a snowmelt river. This one's got a little bit of lumpy water in it. When I say a little bit, it's like a 10% lumpy water. It's very hard for me to actually mark it down on that. But if you're looking for true perfection, it's nearly there, very nearly there. And I'm just loving the shapes of all of these and the lakes as well. It's just enticing you to want to build out there, and it's got a real dynamic. I used the word dynamic before. A real dynamic feel to it. Meanwhile, in the Start Square, we have the New York-Presbyterian Lower Manhattan Hospital by luminou. And this is the side. I went to the wrong side. Let's do a rotation from here. There's the front. There's the front of the hospital. How pretty is this? luminou, great work. Always. And factoids, because factoids, and it dawned on me, having copied this across, Presbyterians are well here a lot. I don't know what it means. So, factoids, because factoids. Presbyterian means belonging or relating to a Protestant church. No, I didn't know that. Found especially in Scotland or the United States, it is governed by a body of official people, all of equal rank. How about that? I mean, I'm less surprised by the second bit than I am by the first bit, but yeah, I mean, Protestant, Presbyterian, yeah, I get that. I feel probably. Anyway, so a Protestant church. I'm sure they treat people of all denominations, and so they should, because religion's a great thing. We should be looking after everybody, even agnostic atheists like me. Anyway, the New York-Presbyterian Lower Manhattan Hospital by luminou, today's asset of the day. How lovely is that? Pretty lovely. How lovely is the map? Well, that's what I'm asking you, and you can tell me with the link in the top right hand corner of the screen or in the description. It's your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, I think Scotland Tom has done a mighty fine job. Again, it's a map that is pretty slick, it's very dynamic, it's got some good vibes about it and some really interesting aesthetics. I'm going to mark it down about 1/10 of a star for not including clarity in the description, and I was going to go for a low to middle 4, that's right, low to middle 4, so I'm going to go for a low 4. It's still a 4-star map, easily. Detailing, strong without really blowing you away with the extra wow factors, so again I'm going to go 4 stars, but I'm going to go for that middly low because again just not trying to show off here, just strong. And gameplay, yeah, we're going to go middle 4 stars on this one as well. It's just I mean, it's no reason why you shouldn't play it. I just not really dragged in. It just doesn't grab me at the imaginary. You imagine playing Whitestone Cove by Scotland Tom. Oh yeah, I can imagine it. Go on, have a BonBonB seal of approval. I can imagine it. Yeah, the difference between the 4 and 5 stars, especially on gameplay, is so difficult to really define, because they can both be equally, but one of them can just have that little like welcome sign that says, look, you have to play me. That map says, no, you want to play me. That's a big difference. Anyway, every time I get to the end of the show, I turn to those of you still here and say, do you want to be part of the 29 out elite? Well, prove it by using the word of the day in the comments, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a good day. See you soon.